Welcome to the Gospel Road. We're going to look at Luke 12 this week. It says, in the meantime, when so many thousands of people had gathered together, that they were trampling one another, he began to say to his disciples first, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. Nothing is covered up that will not be revealed, or hidden that will not be known. Therefore, whatever you have said in the dark shall be heard in the light, and what you have whispered in private rooms shall be proclaimed on the housetops. I tell you, my friends, do not fear those who kill the body, and after that have nothing more that they can do. But I will warn you whom to fear. Fear him who, after he is killed, has the authority to cast into hell. Yes, I tell you, fear him. And are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 pennies, and not one of them is forgotten before God? Why, even the hairs on your head are all numbered. Fear not, you are of more value than many sparrows. And I tell you, everyone acknowledges me before men, the Son of Man also will acknowledge before the angels of God. But the one who denies me before men will be denied before the angels of God. And everyone who speaks a word against the Son of Man will be forgiven, but the one who blasphemes against the Holy Spirit will not be forgiven. And when they bring you before the synagogues and the rulers and the authorities, do not be anxious about how you should defend yourself or what you should say, for the Holy Spirit will teach you in that hour, in that very hour, what you ought to say. Someone in the crowd said to him, Teacher, tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me. But he said to him, Man, who made me a judge or arbitrator over you? And he said to them, Take care, and be on your guard against all covetousness. For one's life does not consist in the abundance of his possessions. And he told them a parable, saying, The land of the rich man produced plentifully. And he thought to himself, What shall I do? For I have nowhere to store my crops. And he said, I will do this. I will tear down my barns and build larger ones, and there I will store all my grain and my goods. And I will say to my soul, Soul, you have ample goods laid up for many years. Relax, eat, drink, and be merry. But God said to him, Fool, this night your soul is required of you, and the things that you have prepared, whose will they be? So is the one who lays up treasure for himself and is not rich towards God? And he said to his disciples, Therefore, I tell you, be not anxious about your life, what you will eat, nor about your body, what you will put on. For life is more than food, and the body more than clothing. Consider the ravens. They neither sow nor reap. They have neither storehouse nor barn, and yet God feeds them. Of how much more value are you than the birds? And which of you, by being anxious, can add a single hour to his lifespan? If then you are not able to do a small thing as that, why are you anxious about the rest? Consider the lilies, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin, yet I tell you, even Solomon, in all his glory, was not arrayed like one of these. But if God so clothed the grass, which is alive in the field today and tomorrow and thrown into the oven, how much more will he clothe you, O you of little faith? And do not seek what you are to eat and what are to drink, nor be worried, for all the nations of the world seek after these things, and your Father knows that you need them. Instead, seek his kingdom, and these things will be added to you. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Sell your possessions and give to the needy. Provide yourselves with money bags that do not grow old, with a treasure in the heavens that does not fail, where no thief approaches and no moth destroys. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Stay dressed for action and keep your lamps burning, and be like men who are waiting for their master to come home from the wedding feast, so that they may open the door to him at once when he comes and knocks. Blessed are those servants whom the master finds awake when he comes. Truly I say to you, he will dress himself for service and have them recline at table, and he will come and serve them. If he comes in the second watch, or in the third, and finds them awake, blessed are those servants. But know this, that if the master of the house had known at what hour the thief was coming, he would not have left his house to be broken into. You also must be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an hour you do not expect. Peter said, Lord, are you telling this parable for all of us? And the Lord said, who then is the faithful and wise manager whom his master will set over his household to give them portion of food at the proper time? Blessed is that servant whom his master will find so doing when he comes. Truly I say to you, he will set him over his possessions. But if the servant says to himself, my master is coming, my master is delayed in coming, and begins to beat the male and female servants and to eat and drink and get drunk, the master of that servant will come on a day when he does not expect him, and in an hour he does not know, and will cut him in pieces and put him with the unfaithful. And that servant who knew his master's will, but did not get ready or act according to his will receive a severe beating. But the one who did not know and did what deserved a beating will receive a light beating. Everyone to whom much was given, and of him much will be required. And from him to whom they entrusted much, they will demand the more. I came to cast fire on the earth, and would that it were already kindled. I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how great is my distress until it is accomplished. Do you think that I have come to give peace on earth? No, I tell you, but rather division. For from now on in one house there will be 5 divided, 3 against 2, 2 against 3. There will be divided father against son, and son against mother, mother against daughter, and daughter against mother, mother-in-law against daughter-in-law, and daughter-in-law against mother-in-law. He also said to the crowds, when you see a cloud rising in the west, and you say at once, a shower is coming, and so it happens. And when you see the south wind blowing, you say, there will be scorching heat, and it happens. You hypocrites, you know how to interpret in the appearance of earth and sky, but why do you not know how to interpret the present time? And why do you not judge yourselves what is right? As you go with your accuser before the magistrate, make an effort to settle with him on the way, lest he drag you to the judge, and the judge hand you over to the officer, and the officer put you in prison. I tell you, you will never get out until you have paid the very last penny. Luke 2. A little bit of a longer one today. Lots of parables. Lots of things to really think about. Being prepared, preparation. Doing what's right. Being ready. That's something we have to do daily, is be ready. You know, you gotta get up, get ready for the day. When you're at work, you have to be ready for whatever's next, especially depending on what it is that you're doing. If you're on an assembly line, you have your part that needs to be done, because once your part gets done, then the next line can do what they need to do. I know dealing with events, there are steps that need to be done, and you're not able to skip steps. You need certain things done before the next one is done. You know, like with me, I'm going to be having a event later this month that I'll be DJing for, so I need to have my equipment set up before I can play my music so people can hear it, right? Steps, being prepared, being ready. Of course, I then need to load it into my car so I have it to take there, right? But what are we seeking? How are we doing this? How are we preparing ourselves? And are we ready? Or are we just being lazy? How many times do we even deal with that at work, at home? We see friends that they just kind of do their thing, and they're not really prepared for what's going to happen. And then when it happens, you know, they just procrastinated. I had a friend that just did that, and when it got to the last minute, they just completely freaked out and weren't sure what to do and how to deal with that. And then stressed and was anxious, but they did it to themselves. And how many times is that how we really run our lives? Is that we push things off and wait until it's too late, and then we're upset because we are not prepared, we're not ready, and now we're anxious trying to get things done, yet do not hold ourselves accountable because we failed. I failed, right? Do not seek what you are to eat and what you are to drink, nor be worried. For all the nations of the world seek after these things, and your Father knows that you need them. Instead, seek his kingdom, and these things will be added to you. What are you seeking? You know, we've heard it, you know, where your treasure is, your heart will be also. You know, I am what I am. When you're dealing with work, what is it that you are striving for? Or are you not? Are you just trying to get by every day and just collect your paycheck to do the best you can? Not looking to impress anybody. You just want to get things through and get to retirement and do whatever it is that you do or want to do. Now, these are important questions. And these are things that we need to think about, because it's going to decide the type of person and level of success that you will have. Right? You're wanting to be the best that you can. You're wanting to be able to help others be the best that they can. We have to decide when and how we're going to do that. We need to decide how we're going to help others be that best person, and really to push forward to do the best that can be done, right? It's not always easy. Things are not always easy. But at the same time, we always have to be prepared. I was just having a conversation. In fact, I was having a tour this past week with a nonprofit here in town, and they were having an audit. And through this audit, they're finding out things that are being done correctly, not being done correctly. And then, they get scored, and you're always wanting to have that high score. Well, here's the catch. How many companies have those audits, but then nobody really follows them once the auditors leave, and then when they come back, they have to either prepare themselves or get things back on track because they ignored it before the auditors came. I've seen that happen. But then I've seen others that go, okay, here's what we need to do. Here's what we need to have. And they start doing things the way they need to be done to be set up for the auditors to be done right. So then that way they're not rushed at the last minute. They're not forgetting something at the last minute. So then that way they're not getting a black mark against them. So now they can pass that audit, and then things are already in order and things are already done. Preparation, being ready for what is going to happen. Will it happen? Who knows? The fireman always prepared, right? Never know when the call is going to come through. The EMT always prepared, never knowing when they're going to have to go to an emergency. Always being ready. Preparing yourself. We're not always going to be able to be prepared for everything, but we can do our best to try and be prepared and be ready for that. I know even when you go to board meetings, I do my best to be prepared, but I'm not always prepared. Odd questions pop up, but these were questions that probably should have been asked before the board meeting, so I could have found the answer out. Because certain things I am not. So I cannot give you that answer right off the top of my head. I'm not everything. I can't be everything. We have what our strengths are, and that's it. We have our weaknesses too. What are we good at? What are we not so good at? What can we be better at? But, it might not be what we're going to master. We could understand it. Like for me, I understand a lot of things, know a lot of little things, but I'm not able to do everything and be everything, because you can really only focus on one piece and be good at that. Otherwise, if you're trying to do it all, something's going to fall through the cracks, and you're going to fail. Balls are going to be dropped. And that is what we need to be careful for, be prepared for. Luke 12, that's what we were looking at today. And how can it help you be that better person? How can you read that to really kind of hone yourself to be the best, to be better? We want to be the best that we can be. And I'm not saying being the best, like, the best of things that you see all the time in magazines. Like around here, we see the best of the Boyne or best of West Side or best of. I'm just saying for you personally, just for me, how can I be my best? And always remember, though, sometimes being my best is just doing my best. Because we all have those weeks. This past week, didn't have my car for a week. The week starts with my car not starting. It was great. Week ended with a very high bill. That was great. But these things happen. Life happens. And we're certainly living in a life that nothing's getting cheaper anymore. It just seems to continue to go up. So we've got to figure out how to be prepared for that. How do we budget ourselves so we're ready when things happen? A lot of friends that are not good at that. They get money and they just want to spend it. They have nothing left over to be prepared for those days. We need to be ready for that. Need to be ready for many things. Read that, Luke 12. Like I always say, read these. How does it help you? Because we're all going through different things. We're all individuals, and we're trying to figure out how to deal with this. I mean, I had a great session this week, talking about strategic planning and how to do things and dealing with people and how people deal with others and how some can and some are not really able to deal with others. But then how are you trying to keep everybody on that same page to understand? Again, we're going to get there in different ways because we are individuals, but we've got to find that bottom line of here's how we are agreeing, and then we can then really pull up on that to really succeed and from there and go forward. Because we're wanting our business, our company to succeed, our family to succeed, our friends to succeed. And how can we help that? Or are you the person that just always plays the devil's advocate no matter what? You're always seeing bad things. You're always complaining. You're never seeing anything good. And we see that too. And that's not good. Luke 12. Check it out. Read that. If you enjoyed this, be sure to share it on social media. Always appreciate that. And give a rating, too, on the platform that you are listening. And you could follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, YouTube. I think that's all of them. I don't know. All of My Buddy Jimmy. You can find me on LinkedIn, too. You can go to mybuddyjimmy.com. See all the things that I share throughout the week, the different things. I try to, be creative, but I don't always have time to do that because my weeks just get away from me. It gets kind of crazy. Love the new job, but it's really starting to pick up now. So there are days I'm going a little crazy, but I get by. But still feel so much better, which is great. Luke 12, be sure to read that, see how it helps you. And thank you for listening to The Gospel Road. Have a great day. God bless.
Spinal adjustments provided by Dr. Chad Rolfson. The Spinal Tuning Chiropractic Center is a Des Moines area low flat fee per month unlimited chiropractic care practice. When life happens, just adjust. Schedule today at spinaltuning.com.
If you're looking for help with software, app, web development, be sure to check out my friends at ingenuitycompany.com. They believe in their clients. Software development, app development, web development, visioning, design thinking, diagramming, organizational development, strategy. They can help you at the Ingenuity Company. Find out more at ingenuitycompany.com.
The Jimmy Olsen Radio Network.